The video game industry makes more money than the global movie business and all sports in North America combined. Let's take a look at the top 10 biggest performers, starting off with Terraria. Released in 2011 and developed by Relogic, this is a 2D action-adventure game full of building, combat, exploring, and more. Now, like a lot of popular games, this one has been released on a variety of platforms, including PC, console, and even a mobile version. By the end of 2020, this game's even sold an impressive 35 million copies across all these platforms. And with tons of mods, modes, and mechanics, it's no wonder this is a popular game for many. Up next, we have a cowboy game. But no, not just any cowboy game. This is the cowboy game. The rootinest, tootinest show in the Wild West. That's right. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. Released in 2018, this game had a massive launch, generating over $725 million in just the opening weekend. In just 2 weeks, it had already outsold the original Red Dead, going on to win award after award. This game actually lands itself in the top 10 best games on Metacritic. It actually went on to sell over 36 million copies, which is how it landed 9th on our list. Up next, it's all about going fast with the iconic plumber himself. That's right, it's Mario Kart Wii.
Mario Kart Wii! Woohoo!
This game actually let the players use the motion controls of the Wii remote to act as a steering wheel as they race for the crown. Coming with a plastic steering wheel accessory with every copy, this went on to sell an impressive 38 million copies since its release in 2008. Something about using the controller to actually control your kart makes this a must-have for any Wii owner's game library. One of the most classic games is up next. I want you to take a wild guess on which one it might be. PacMan, the arcade icon himself, has had his fair share of platforms. Overall, PacMan franchise has generated more than $14 billion. Now, this game has sold over 43 million units across all its platforms, and it was actually the best-selling arcade cabinet of all time. It is also the top-selling title for the Atari 2600, carrying 7.9 million copies. Now, out of all games mentioned so far, this one's probably the most iconic character on our list. Who knew being a plumber could be so dangerous? Your girlfriend's always being kidnapped, you're being chased by these mushroom monsters, and there's a giant fire-breathing turtle. Super Mario Bros. Comes in 6th place with a cool 50 million units. Within 4 months of releasing, it had already made the modern equivalent of over 170 million bucks. In June of 2020, it was actually reported that a sealed original copy of the game sold for $114,000 at auction. This was the game that started off the franchise after all. Maybe saving the princess isn't your style. Well, how about a multiplayer battle royale? PlayerUnknown's Battleground was released in early access on Steam back in March of 2017, with full release coming in December of that same year. Now, due to its popularity, it actually expanded to the console market and eventually a mobile version as well. In 2017, this was actually the top-selling game with over 30 million copies and grossing $900 million. The mobile version would go on to gross over $1.5 billion in 2019, and in total the game would sell over 70 million copies. Wii Sports actually came out with the Wii gaming console, but here's the kicker, it's actually really good. You kinda got 5 games in one with this one, being golf, bowling, boxing, baseball, and tennis. But in all these games, there was one villain who could never be defeated, Matt, who seemed to have already unlocked Ultra Instinct before we ever knew the name. Another game that nearly anybody can pick up and play, Tetris, is up next. This version was published by EA and was released on consoles and mobile phones. Now, being a paid download on mobile, it still went on to see some insane downloads. Topping the 100 million mark, this game was immensely popular, making it the 3rd best-selling game on our list. What if you don't want to do something simple and wholesome? What if you want to do drugs and murder instead? Well, then GTA 5 may be for you and 140 million of your closest friends. Now, if it's illegal, chances are you can probably do it in this game. Rockstar went all out for it with its expansive maps, vehicles, guns, story, online play, and it shows. GTA 5 was so popular, it actually made over $6 billion in revenue for Rockstar. Finally, here we have it, the best-selling game of all time. times. Have you guessed it yet? That's right, it's Minecraft. With the full release in 2011, this game's simple design makes it very appealing. The simple mechanics really allow the player's creativity to blossom and expand. In 2020, the game passed the 200 million copies downloaded, with an insane 126 million monthly active players across all its versions. Microsoft actually went on to buy Minecraft as a property in 2014 for $2.5 billion, folks. Due to the sales and popularity, they definitely made a good deal. Books, spin-offs, a convention, and tons of merchandise. There is no denying the massive popularity of Minecraft, which definitely deserves the #1 spot on our list. That was a lot of games being sold. Did you ever manage to play any of them? Let us know by pressing the subscribe button to keep up with all of our new content coming out on The Financial Fixation.